Hello, good morning, everyone. A very happy Women's Day in advance to all of you. I hope you're all well, safe, and we're very happy to have you all here. Okay, my name is Fadan. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to the 7th edition of Blue Ocean Women Leadership Development, BOWLD, organized by Blue Ocean Corporation. BOWLD began in 2020 as the first exclusive leadership forum in the Middle East dedicated to advancing women in leadership. It was created with a clear purpose to spark conversations, create opportunities, and amplify the voices of women who are shaping industries and communities around the world. Over the years, BOWLD has evolved into more than just an event. It has become a space where ideas are shared, experiences are valued, and meaningful connections are built across borders and industries. Each edition brings fresh perspectives, inspiring stories, and a stronger community of leaders committed to driving positive change. As Malala Yousafzai once said, we cannot all succeed when half of us are held back. This thought perfectly aligns with this year's theme, a future built on women's rights, justice for women by design. It reminds us that progress does not happen by chance. It happens when people come together with intention, vision, and commitment. We are also live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Please share the session with your network so more people can join the conversation. Once again, welcome to the 7th edition of BOWLD. Let us begin.
Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to welcome you all today as we come together to celebrate the International Women's Day. This year's theme is a future built on women's rights, justice by design. Reminds us that progress doesn't happen by chance.
To begin, let us take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey of Blue Ocean Corporation. Over the years, Blue Ocean has evolved into a global leader, empowering professionals, nurturing leadership, and transforming careers through world-class education and innovation. With a strong commitment to the excellence and a vision to create meaningful impact, the organization continues to inspire individuals and communities across borders. Let us now take a closer look at this inspiring journey. Please direct your attention to the screen as we present the Blue Ocean corporate video.
Welcome to Blue Ocean Corporation, the world number one in supply chain training and consulting, the only super brand in the training arena, a multinational conglomerate with over 500,000 alumni worldwide. By empowering people, transforming businesses, and connecting minds, Blue Ocean defines what it means to lead in a changing world. Guided by icons, trusted by leaders, a legacy built over decades, across continents, across industries. This is more than capability. This is the global standard. Blue Ocean Corporation, transforming potential into global leadership.
What an inspiring video. beautifully capturing the essence of Blue Ocean's mission and vision. Blue Ocean is more than an organization, it's a community committed to growth, innovation, and inclusivity. Central to this vision is our steadfast support for women, not just in their careers, but in every aspect of their well being. This commitment goes beyond creating opportunities. It's about fostering an environment where women can truly thrive at every stage of their journey. From initiatives like Women's Day Off to flexible arrangements during maternity and beyond. Blue Ocean ensures that women can balance personal and professional commitment with ease. Even more importantly, we believe in women as leaders, entrusting them to lead teams, manage events, and drive meaningful change, not only within our organization, but in the world at large. To set the stage for today's discussion and focus our attention on what drives BOWLD 7, we now move on to the theme introduction. It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Soha Bahri, Senior Training Consultant from Blue Ocean Corporation. Ms. Soha Bahri will take us through the vision behind this year's edition and share insights that frame our conversations around leadership, empowerment, and the future we are building together. Ms. Soha Bahri, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from different parts of the world. Wherever you are logging in from, a boardroom, a home office, a university campus, or even between meetings, thank you for taking the time to be with us here. Today, we are not just celebrating International Women's Day. We are coming together to reflect, to learn, and most importantly, to move forward. On behalf of Blue Ocean Women Leadership Development BOWLD, it is my privilege to welcome you to this global virtual conference. It is a platform for ideas, dialogue, and meaningful change. This year's theme is a future built on women's rights, justice for women by design. This theme carries a powerful and important message. Justice for women should not be left to chance. It must be built internationally into our systems, our workplaces, and our leadership. When we say by design, we mean creating structures, policies, and cultures that actively support fairness, opportunity, and dignity for women. Today's conference is a step in that direction. It is a space to share ideas, reflect on challenges, and explore how we can collectively build workplaces, societies where women's rights are protected, respected, and valued. A future built on women's rights is not just a vision. It is a responsibility we all share. Thank you for being part of this important conversation. Once again, welcome to BOWLD 7. I now invite you to watch an inspiring video that celebrates the strength, resilience, and achievement for women BOWLD around the world. Thank you.
Ancient scriptures say, I come from the bones and flesh of a man. What is my true identity today? Contemplating often as I can. I felt the absolute power within me, an urge to sublime and transcend, above and beyond the antiquated psyche of the society for which I was truly meant. Loving parents, I became the apple of their eyes. Love knows no discrimination. I was bound to their loving ties. even care? Women are meant to marry and give birth, and this is how it should be. I pondered, is it true? Is that all I was meant to be? Fierce with wings of aspirations and fire in my femininity. Success is not gender biased. I had confidence in my abilities. I surpassed all classmates and was at the top of my grades and challenged the gender patriarchy with all my accolades. I was married now and carrying out the part of a dutiful wife. I couldn't be more happier as love bloomed into my life. I soon became mother of little bundles of joy. My joy knew no bounds as I held my little girl and my little baby boy. The first day at my work was as beautiful as I can reminisce. A new hope of recreation, rejuvenation of my art and skill was indeed a bliss. Worked hard at home and worked to ensure it all made sense. To be a perfect wife, mother, and employee was my life's basic essence. Responsibilities. At work, I tried as hard from dawn to dusk with utmost sincerity. But juggling these balls in the air has been a daunting race. Torn between both worlds at times, still I carried it with power and grace. Amidst all trials and tribulations, I still made my way. Is the highest ranking at work only for a man? I would dare to say. Is the duty to raise children only a job of so-called superwoman? The old school of thoughts indeed needed a profound transformation. For all this, I wonder, are men or women to blame? Do we glorify motherhood and make it a matter of fame? We are not superwomen, but humans. Let's reset the unrealistic parameters with our own set of falls and misses, yet compassionate, loving creatures. She has reached the moon and stars. She is bold, she is bold, she is bold.
What a remarkable video. It beautifully depicts the strength, resilience, and inspiring journey of women. Thank you for that insightful introduction to this year's theme, and thank you, Ms. Soha Behri. Workplaces are evolving, and with that evolution comes a critical question. Are we designing environments where everyone truly has a fair chance to succeed? Equity is not just a goal, it is a responsibility. It's about embedding fairness, opportunity, and inclusion into every DNA of corporate culture. That's exactly what our next panel will explore: rewriting workplace DNA, designing equity into corporate culture. We are privileged to have an extraordinary group of leaders with us today. Ms. Susie Mackey, mental toughness assessor and self-worth mentor from Susie Mackey Life. Ms. Trisha Chapman, global career strategist and leadership coach. And we have Ms. Nadine Shamus, founder of the Life Director. Guiding this conversation and helping us extract actionable insights is our moderator, Ms. Hend Adel, senior faculty at Blue Ocean Corporation. Ms. Hend, over to you to lead this conversation.
Thank you so much, Fidan. Thank you, everyone. And it's real pleasure to welcome you all today as we come together to celebrate the International Women's Day. This year, the theme is a future built on women's rights, justice by design. Reminds us that the progress doesn't happen by chance. It happens when women are empowered, supported, and given the space to lead, influence, and shape the future. Today's panel brings together inspiring voices who have already dedicated their work to helping individuals grow, whether through strength and mental resilience, empowering women in their career, or guiding people to take ownership of their life direction. What makes today's discussion special is that it's not just about success, it's about growth, courage, and the real journey behind success. Each of our panelists brings a unique perspective, from building mental strength and self-worth to helping professionals present their value with confidence to guiding people to truly become director of their own lives. Today, we won't be just talking about achievements. We will be exploring the mindset, the challenges, the decision that shapes women's journey both professionally and personally. My hope is that everyone in this room leaves at least with one idea, one perspective, or one moment of inspiration that stays with you long after this session. So, without further delay, let's begin. what I am sure will be very insightful conversation. Let's start by welcoming our incredible panelists. First, I will start with Miss Susie McKay. She's a mental toughness assessor and practitioner and self-worth mentor. Susie works closely with individuals to help them build resilience, strengthen their mindset, and reconnect with their true potential. Next, we will have Ms. Trisha Chapman, the founder of the Impressive CV. Trisha has helped countless professionals elevate their careers by teaching them how to present their experience, achievement, and value with clarity and confidence. And finally, we have Ms. Nadine Shammas, the founder of the Life Director, registered consultancy firm dedicated to help individuals take ownership of their lives and become the true director of their personal and professional journey. So let's begin our conversation, and I will start. I will ask my first question with Ms. Susie McKay. Mental toughness is often misunderstood. In your experience, what is one misconception about resilience that women especially need to unlearn?
Hello, everybody. Well, I think that one particular misconception is that to become resilient, we need to be tough, we need to grow a thick skin, almost lose our femininity, and that is not true. It isn't one size fits all. But most important, we must not think that to be resilient, we need to keep pushing through, regardless of our own needs. That's just survival and it's exhausting.
This is really interesting point. Thank you so much, Miss Susie, for your insights. And let's go over to Miss Trisha Chapman. From reviewing thousands of CVs, what is the biggest mistake talented women make when presenting themselves professionally?
Yes, thank you so much for the question. I guess after reviewing countless resumes over the last 10 years, there is one mistake that I see over and over again, and it just really recoils me every single time, and that women document their job history instead of demonstrating their value. Let me give you a quick example. I'll be reviewing lots of resumes, someone who is clearly brilliant. She's managed stakeholder relationships across multiple Gulf regions. She's headed regulatory frameworks, 3 different countries, but in her resume, she just simply writes responsible for stakeholder management. Look at her counterpart male CV, and they've said they've led cross-border stakeholder engagement across the Gulf, ensuring 100% regulatory compliance while reducing approval timelines by 35%. Same job, same results, but a completely different story.
I agree with you because every woman should present not only what she do, what changes she already made in her previous job or what she was working with, so it will show the real potential that she can bring to the table and to the company. Thank you, Miss Trisha. And let me go to Miss Nadine Shammas. You speak about directing your own life. What does it truly mean for a woman to become the director of her own story?
Good morning, everyone. The concept of being the director of your own life is being consciously present and understanding where your journey is going to. So, when I came up with that title or that concept, it was a time when I took myself out of the picture and I sat in the director's chair. And I asked myself, if I am directing my own life, would I love the story that I'm directing? Would I like that role that I'm playing? And I realized that many times in our lives, we are playing roles and acting out of scripts that we didn't write. And we accepted directions from others just so the scene is complete. So directing your own life is first of all realizing consciously that we've been running out on scripts that are not ours and consciously deciding that we will be writing our stories. And because I'm a theater director, so the same concept when I produce or I direct a theater play, I need a good script. So if I'm going to direct my own life, I need to write a very good script that can go from page to stage. And this is how we consciously start directing and understanding consciously what is our future, a clear vision, a clear plan, and rehearsals. We need to rehearse on the story that we want to play in and the role. So this is the concept: rewriting your story, rewriting your future. It's not about deleting all the past. It's about being conscious, present, and understanding that you have the power to direct, to give roles to others, to complete your story.
Thank you so much, Miss Nadine, and
You're
I
welcome.
totally agree with you. In case if I want to make my own story, I have to learn from my past and be present of what I have right now, of my
Exactly.
resources, in order to shift and direct the future and my next journey. So thank
Yes.
you so much. And go back to Miss Susie McKay. You work closely with self-worth, and why do you think so many high-achieving women still struggle with self-doubt, even when the evidence of success is clear?
Well, we are in some ways conditioned to be strong, to get out there and look after everybody else. Women are nurturers, regardless of whether we have a career or not. Often that falls to us when we're at home. And they may struggle with self-doubt because of that conditioning, but being everything to everyone else. This can be at the expense of ourselves, and our belief will struggle when we're exhausted. The world praises busyness and independence, so we keep striving, achieving, believing the next success will bring our confidence or our inner peace. But self-worth doesn't happen from fixing the external. It happens from fixing what's inside us. Just as Nadine said, it begins inside, and the shift happens when we stop chasing external validation and start reconnecting with who we are and what we need. It's about building the inner stability before reaching breaking point. This is much easier, of course, with the right kind of support. So yes, it's don't try and fix everything outside. Take a look at what's going on inside and work with that and get help if you need it.
Actually, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much, Miss Susie, for your insights. And as a woman, I should not ask validation from the outside. I should be very strength to my core to understand what I can do, what is my capabilities, in order to make the others believe what I can do. If I cannot believe it, if I am hesitating to sell it, so no one will buy it. So thank you so
Yeah,
much,
just
Miss
one other
Susie.
point is that
Yes.
when you do go, say, for an interview, and Nadine was so wonderful in what she said, it's not to ask yourself, why should they hire a woman? Why should they
Mm.
hire me? Why should they hire me for the job?
Yes, yes.
Because you
It's not
are
about
just,
woman or yes, I agree. Thank you so much, Miss Susie. Um, Over to Miss Trisha, and as we are speaking still in the same point, many women do great work but hesitate to sell themselves. So where is the line between confidence and authenticity?
Yeah, great question again. And Susie, I really liked that comment. It's really fantastic. That aligns and resonates with me and something that I mentioned with my coaching clients as well. So fantastic that we're on the same page. I think it's really important that stating what you have accomplished as a female, it's not self-promotion. You're not boasting or bragging about anything. At the end of the day, it's professional communication that you need to be confident and comfortable with. So when you say that I've designed a customer experience framework, maybe you've increased, retention rates by 28%, or you've generated multi-million dollars worth of revenue, you're not bragging. You're actually stating the fact that you have propelled the business forward. And so it's professional practice, or it should be embedded into your communication that that's what you can do to be able to support yourself in being promoted. And I guess being able to professionally distinguish between authentic confidence and being evidence-based and bragging. And obviously in the Gulf region, evidence-based approach works really well. It's built on a region of credibility and a track record. People do their homework. They really do value the specifics. So if you can back up your statements with data and project outcomes, then you're not just being overconfident, you're actually being able to demonstrate the kind of precision that can get respect in the region and ultimately business outcomes.
Thank you so much, Miss Trisha, which means that if I want to speak out of confident, I should speak out of actual true stories and case studies and data that is already, I did it, and I need to demonstrate it for the other to see what I can bring and what I can do for the company and what value I can, let's see, I can add, not as a woman, but as a person.
That's right, exactly.
Thank you.
And that's confidence. It's the
Yes.
truth. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Trisha.
Oh.
And moving forward to Miss Nadine Chammas, prioritize others first, especially in our region. How can someone shift from people pleasing to purposeful life without guilt?
So we will always be supporting others. So this is our nature. If I will tell you, there's a way to shift to your own, no. We will always be there for everyone, but we always say that when you are full, you can give. So first of all, you need to understand that when you're fulfilling your calling, your mission, your goals, it's you are inspiring also others. So by doing so for yourself, others will be getting the benefits as well. So if we can just change this thing that I have to do everything for everyone, and start by doing everything for you first, so the others will benefit automatically. And knowing that it's your right, yeah, it's your right and it's your calling. So we cannot ignore each one's journey and each one's calling. Yes, we want to be there for everyone, but at the same time there is a calling for us. If we're not fulfilling it, then we're not really being able to show our full potential, why we are here. The same question that we always ask: what is my mission? What is my calling? Am I fulfilling this? Am I using all my skills to fulfill myself and then inspire others? So I think by thinking in that way, we can release the guilt of uh, taking care of ourselves first and then inspire the others. So we need to believe that this is our power, and this is our gift, and we need to fulfill it.
Thank you so much, Miss Nadine. And I as agree with you. Actually, if I want to be present for everyone, I have to be present for myself first. I need
Yes,
to hear myself what I need right now before supporting each other. We don't say that we will not support, but we say that I need to be there for myself. Then I can be present for others and support others, which is really
100%.
true. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Go back to Miss Susie McKay. Let's have an example. If a woman in this audience feels stuck, capable but hesitated, what is the one mindset shift she can apply starting tomorrow?
Sometimes it's very difficult when you're feeling stuck and you believe that at the moment, at this present time, nothing is going to help you to shift. So it does help if you sit with that feeling, perhaps close your eyes and go into what we call the felt sense. Let your feelings come to the surface and just listen to what that inner voice is telling you. The main thing that you can do is to decide. You can decide you're worthy of change and support. Perhaps even before you fully believe it, write it down on a piece of paper. I am worthy. I can change. I can grow. And sometimes you need someone to hold that belief for you until you can hold it for yourself. So ask for help. So ask yourself, what is the next appropriate step? And if you're feeling really wobbly, ask yourself, what is the smallest, most aligned step for me that I can take today? Keep it simple.
Thank you so much, Miss Susie. And as I agree totally with you that I need to start with small steps just to believe in myself if I have an hesitation. And there is no problem with asking help. to reassure this idea. Not only that, I have to write it myself, as you said. I have to write it myself, even in front of my mirror every day, in front of
Yes.
everything that I can see. I can do it. I can change. I can make very powerful steps. So I have to remind myself every day,
Yes.
on a daily basis, in a routine way, that I can do it. So thank you so much.
Mirror work is wonderful. Even just to write on your bathroom mirror, I am enough, so that every morning you see that and you see that until it gets embedded and you believe it. Thank you, Nadine.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Kent.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will go to Ms. Trisha right now. If someone feels overlooked at work, not promoted, not recognized, what practical step would you advise before considering a job change?
Yes, very good question. And it is certainly a tough spot to be in. And in fact, I see it quite frequently with a lot of my clients. So I think if you're feeling overlooked, there is likely a reason for it. But remember that feelings alone won't be changing your situation. It's really important that you are having a look at the strategy that will. So before you start applying on LinkedIn, before you start hastily sending out your resume, we call it spray and pray. I really would, I really would encourage you to be moving from a place of frustration and one to a room or a place of power. And so create an impact inventory. And so what this means is document every single contribution that you have made to the business over the last 12 to 18 months. Get some numbers that you have been involved with from the business. Clarify whether you actually were supporting that case for that project advancement. Make sure that you are really clear in terms of the numbers that you have been managing or teams that you have supported. And so if you've got these conversations documented, then that is something that you could be presenting to your manager. The second would be have a strategic conversation, request a career development discussion with your direct line managers, and come up with a clear agenda based on that inventory checklist or achievement brag list that we call it, and then ask for some explicit criteria that would be able to then get a timeline in place to be able to achieve to that next level. And then based on that evidence, make sure that you've got clear commitments from both parties so that you are clear and that you can both deliver on those outcomes. If you get into unbroken promises or ambiguity and you things that, you start realizing that it's not progressing the way that you'd like to be, don't get angered. Don't become anxious and angry. You need to stick to your goals and then start applying to a workplace where you will feel recognized.
Yes, I agree totally with you because first I have to ask myself and understand why I feel stuck, why I have to change. And I have to ask myself honestly, is this is because lack of growth, lack of promotion, lack of recognition? I have to ask myself in a very honest way. Also, not only that, before leaving the place, before quitting, I need to ask, is there any other opportunity in the same company, inside the company, I can shift to, or it's the full organization that I cannot feel myself and I cannot grow and I don't have any opportunity to learn more or upgrade myself. So thank you so much, Miss Trisha, and this is very insightful conversation. Over to Miss Nadine Shammas. I just want to ask you something very important. Have you seen a common pattern in women who successfully reinvent themselves later in life?
There's always a
Like,
common
yeah.
pattern, and that was really a big talk about it. So
Mm,
we don't need to hit rock bottoms so we can raise again.
mm,
Okay. So many women, not only women, many successful people, they do their jump when they lose everything. Okay, when they are broke, when they go into crisis. And we don't need that. This is a belief. This is a program that we all have in our DNA. And we need to understand that we can always move forward. We can always step into new stages in our lives with more maturity, with more growth, with more learning, with more knowledge, without the need of feeling down or failing or going into those, pressure. We don't need that. Life should flow. If anything, that life should be flowing, and to have this flow in life is to understand that this is our right. So we cannot continue fighting our rights. This is our rights. If all of this are my rights, what am I doing? If I know nothing about myself, who am I? So these are the questions that we want to ask ourselves. And to break those patterns, we need to change the program. So the program that is more positive, it is more happy, it's more fulfilling and positive. So if I would ask everyone here, what would be that one program that will break the pattern? What would it be?
I agree with you, and there is a very important point you already highlighted that we don't have to get the stereotype of breaking down,
Yeah,
reaching the rock bottom in order to rebuild and grow. We can continue life because life isn't easy. At the end, life is hard
yeah,
for everyone, not for just us. But at least we can know that we can continue in our journey. No need to feel the depression or the stress, and
yeah.
not make them like
The
I
reason.
can say yes, the reason or the um, whatever it is, in order to I can blame it on it, or I can put everything on the
Exactly.
on yes on the depression or the circumstances or whatever. But I have to start with my own, because I have to understand life goes on and nothing will stop on everyone.
And
So
in
thank you.
every
Yes,
stage of our life, there would be
yes,
those kind of challenges. It's
which
not
you know,
like,
which is normal.
which it's normal. So accepting those as challenges, accepting them as learning. So, and keep pushing and projecting ourselves in the future. It's very important. If you cannot see who you will be in the future, you don't know the roadmap. You don't know how you will achieve there. Okay,
True.
so the first thing, if I project myself in the future, who I want to become, what will I do? What is my character? What am I doing? And then you have a clear program, a rehearsal to achieve that. What skills do I need? Where am I today from the person that I want to become? And these are the
Exactly.
questions that will not push you, that will give you the strength to move forward so you can reach that image that you have in your mind.
Thank you so much, Miss
You're
Nadine, and
welcome.
you really make me myself encourage as well. So, as a professionals, we should know already what we want to be in the future, but we need to make sure that we need to fulfill this dream. We need to know how this dream came true, or how I can achieve this target that I already need to get. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
I will be over back to Miss Susie. And let me ask you, in moments when confidence drop, which is usually happens, what question should a woman ask herself to reconnect with her own power?
Thank you, Hend, and thank you, Nadine. I think we are very aligned in how we approach these things. I agree that life should flow, but actually we don't flatline. Sometimes our confidence does drop.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't even know why. It's just maybe our biorhythms or something that's happening within us, and we just don't feel right that day. Or something happens to us, and we think, why is this happening to me? Why me? And rather than asking, why me, asking, what is this trying to teach me? Why is this coming to me? What is the lesson I can learn from this? And for me, the most powerful question we can ask ourselves in that very moment when we're feeling really awful and lacking in confidence is, who do I choose to be in this moment? We all have a choice. And I used to be very careful when I said that, because in some countries, women don't have choice. And those of us who do are very fortunate that we have choice. And just as we have a voice, it's up to us to use it. So, who do I choose to be in this moment is very powerful.
Thank you so much, Miss Susie. And I totally agree with you. Actually, I need to know or I need to choose what I can do, not relying on same concept of circumstances and whatever, but at least I need to know how I want to achieve what I want to do. What is my next step? What is my options I have to improve or to change the current situation? So thank you so much.
Okay. You're
Um,
welcome.
Miss Trisha. Let me ask you one more question, which is if you could rewrite one rule about how women approach their career, what would it be? If you have the
Oh, very
power,
nice.
if you have the power to do that, yes.
Very nice. I think in our part of the
wonderful.
world, we're often raised to be quite modest, and we're encouraged to let the work speak for ourselves or speak for itself. And I think that we need to be treating our careers like a garden, hoping that if we just work hard enough, the recognition will actually grow on its own. But the truth is, in the Gulf region, waiting to be discovered is actually like waiting for rain in the desert without actually digging a well. It's a beautiful thought, it's a great concept, but it's not actually going to be able to get you where you need or maybe want to go. And so I want you guys to know that showcasing your achievements isn't bragging, it's just being honest about the value that you're bringing. And so it's important to be building a personal brand, building a reputation that you're actually proud to be talking about, and encourages you to be getting headhunted or tapped or asked to be taking on certain things. So if you feel overlooked, don't get your heart heavy. Instead, just get clear on what your wins are and then use them to be able to build a brand that reflects your strength. And if the people around you can't see your light or have the courage to be able to find and support you, just remember that the future will happen if you make it to. And we as females are here to be able to support you to lead that.
Yes, thank you. Actually, my own, I have a story of my own, same like this, that I need to present my own confident. I need to present my own achievements in a way that everyone can recognize it, everyone can see it, so that I will be no longer underestimated. I will be no longer overlooked or not promoted or not recognized, which is very practical, by the way. It's my own practical experience, by the way. So thank you, Miss Trisha. And over to Miss Nadine.
Mhm.
Let me ask you if every woman here left today with one belief about herself, what
Mhm.
belief would you want it to be?
One belief, you matter. And we
Of
are
course.
here, yeah, you matter. Because sometimes we just ignore that. We think that we don't matter. Each one of us matters. And each one of us have, it's a dot, and we create the full picture. So we all need each other. We all complement each other. And we don't need to empower each other more than to be there for each other, holding space. So, and I love what Trisha said, that you don't brag when you talk about yourself. Just say who you are. It's okay. Say who you are. These achievements, you've done them. No one else gave them to you. You've done them. And when you talk about your achievements, it's about you, who you are becoming and how you are changing and how you are evolving. And this also gives a lot of inspiration for others. So I think one thing that if I would love everyone to do is think of what is the story that you want to leave behind. And so it can inspire everyone around you.
Yes, and that actually will face a lot of rejection, a lot of
Mm,
resentment. And you have to fight for this, not to influence you, not to get it into you. You have to continue in your past, to continue or saying your achievements, saying you're changing, not letting anyone to define you, not letting anyone
exactly.
to make you feel less or make you feel underestimated, or make fun of what you achieved because he
Yep.
cannot achieve it or he cannot do it. So it means that you cannot. Yes.
You can always benefit from the critiques and the judgments and everything around you. So not everything is personal. Sometimes when you know how to make those boundaries, that not everything that is said to you is about you. It's more about them. Maybe you are mirroring what they cannot do. So
Yes,
keep on doing
yes.
it. Keep on
Mm,
doing it because it's not about them. It's about inspiring them. Maybe you plant a seed in them one day and it will grow and they will find that awakening to be who they are at the core. And
I
this is
agree.
not easy. We're talking about something idealistic, but we can plant seeds. So what we're doing here is just planting the seeds. Some people will grow it, some people will ignore it, and it's okay. This is part of the journey. So we need to accept everything in life. The good, the bad, the judgment and the applause, everything. But everything should make sense to you first. So if everything that you're doing in your life and in your journey makes sense to you, your decisions are based on is it right for me? And good for my journey, then you are like you know that everything around is just an audience. An audience have the right to say yes or no, I like, I
Yes,
don't like. So when you are on the stage, like my book says, the stage is yours. It means that the stage of life, when you are on stage, you are performing for a big audience. Yeah, you're being who you want to be, you're saying what you want to say, and the audience have the right to say I like or I don't like, and it's okay. But you do your job.
yes. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Miss Nadine, and
Thank you.
thank you for the great example that you already provided to us. And
Thank you.
as we come to the end of this discussion, I would like to thank our incredible panelists for their sharing their insights, experience, and honest perspective with us today. Today's conversation reminded us that empowering women is not just about opportunities; it's about confidence, resilience, and the courage to lead our own journey. Thank you, Susie, Trisha, and Nadine for such an
Thank you.
inspiring discussion. And to everyone here today, I hope you leave this session feeling a little more empowered, a little more confident, and reminded of the impact women can have when we support and uplift one another. Thank you all for being part of this celebration of the International Women's Day.
A big thanks to Ms. Hind Adil for moderating this insightful discussion and to our distinguished panelists, Ms. Susie Mackey, Ms. Trisha Chapman, and Ms. Nadine Shamas for sharing their expertise, experience, and practical strategies. Your insights on rewriting workplace DNA and designing equity into corporate culture have truly inspired us all. Now, just a quick reminder to everyone joining us today, you will receive an email shortly with a feedback form. We kindly request you to take a moment to share your feedback as it is very valuable to us. Once the feedback is completed, your certificate of attendance will be sent to your registered email address after the event.
Thank you so much, Fidan. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you all enjoyed our conversation and discussion with our great panelists.
Thank you, and a great many takeaways from that wonderful panel. Now, our next segment promises to inspire us and challenge us to think bigger about leadership and impact. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from a leader who truly embodies the idea of women leaders raising leaders. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Emilia Sentiu, Middle East, Africa, and Turkey Senior Field Learning and Development Manager, AMZL Transportation, Amazon. Ms. Sentiu will share her insights on how women in leadership drive change, influence organizations, and shape communities. Let's get ready to be inspired.
You. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited actually about this topic, and I'm excited to speak to you about women leaders raising leaders. A particular passion for this topic, I would say, from my side. As we explore and dive into it, we'll look into the unique challenges and the remarkable contribution that women in managerial positions, particularly those who are also mothers, and what have they managed to create. If we can go to the slides, if you don't mind to, thank you so much. Okay, we can move to the next one, thank you. A bit of an introduction about myself. The previous slide. Thank you. A bit of introduction about myself. I'm Romanian national. I have been living in UAE, in Middle East, for the past almost 19 years. I have a degree in foreign languages and in law, and I am a Six Sigma Black Belt certified, so I'm one of the alumni of Blue Ocean Academy. My hobbies have shifted a little bit within these years, these 19 years. First of all, nowadays, my main hobby is to raise a leader. I have a little son that you can see in one of the pictures down, who is already leading his own way, learning from myself as well as from my husband. I also love Latin dances, painting. I love motorcycles. I have a big passion for Harley Davidson, and I made our husband buy it and drive it. I can say that I have a quite rich experience in terms of managing people and in building my own way, as some of the ladies in the panel earlier were talking. So I could completely relate to it, and I could completely relate on how I was feeling at the beginning of my career, and especially how I was feeling when I came to Middle East. I was a young adult, only 24 years old, diving into the region and the country, and with a language that I didn't know, and the region and the country that I had no connection with. And I was decided to build a road of my own, shy a little bit in the beginning. So to build a road of my own, to make a name in the region. And 19 years later, I am still here, stubborn enough to want to make a difference, if you want. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you so much. So I've learned a thing or two in my humble experience of 43 years. Like the fact that real leadership doesn't always come with a title. It comes from showing up again and again, whether it's for your family or for your community or for your team at work. And this Mother's Day, we are taking a moment to celebrate the kind of leadership that often goes unseen, but for sure never unfelt. I have been inspired by so many incredible women in leadership roles, official or unofficial leadership roles, throughout my entire life and career. And I believe that their experiences can motivate and empower future generations of leaders. They are women who don't just keep things running at home, but they are out there shaping the future. Similar to these women, where did I learn to do it all? From my mom, of course. And if you don't mind moving to the next slide. Thank you. So this is a picture of me and my mom, taken not so long ago. So I remember her working long hours, and she was sometimes even in different shifts. And after working, she still made it to all our school events. I have a younger brother, so she made it to all our school events. She looked after our homework. She never showed how tired she was or all the hard work that she put in. She just did it. That's what us mom do. We push through, we show up for the people we care about. And I call that real leadership. My mom has so many, let's call them best practices, that I apply in my day-to-day life, even nowadays. She first of all gave me wings to fly. Even when, as I was saying, as a doubtful young adult, I came to UAE. She said, my home is your takeoff and landing track to land in case of emergency. And her initial steps with me into leadership supported me on my road towards where I am today. I'm leading a team of almost 50 people with a strong career behind me in hardcore or man-led industries. She had made me dream and educated me that the sky is not my limit. Initially, I couldn't understand because we see the sky out there and we know it doesn't have a limit, but actually even that sky is not the limit. So she told me to even go above the sky. to always consider those around me and to grow myself while I grow others. Initially, talking about my current experience in Amazon or my current career in Amazon, I started with a team of 6 people, including myself. And I was told that I have to only work on what I was hired for. But did I listen? No. I wanted to push the barriers. I wanted to become a trailblazer. This is how I reached to a team of 50, and I grew even the region that I'm covering. My mother told me that there is nothing that I cannot do if I put my mind to it. There is no such thing as I cannot. And she also told me to listen to know what to say, and to look to know what to do. And of course, to ask the right questions in order to provide the best of support. I traveled over 45 countries in all the continents. I went to US, to Latin America, the whole Middle East. I went to Iraq even in times when my colleagues' men were doubtful of going. I went to Libya, to Pakistan, to Australia, the whole of Asia. I worked in mainland industries, met with hundreds of people, all nationalities, listened to their stories, and most of all, I led and I'm leading with care and caring leadership. As I said, I was initially a shy young adult in a tough industry like the oil and gas, and I understood that, as one of our panelists was saying, I had to write my own story and I had to build my future. I was in a country that was not mine, that now I love and respect and is my home, especially seeing the current events. I decided to stay, build my story, build my future, build all others, remembering what my mom has taught me, and that there is no such thing as I cannot do it. I became a manager, I launched programs, departments. I did not say no, but I asked the right questions. I pushed against all odds. Now, talking about my mom, where is she now? Who is she? She's the best friend of my son. And that's how he calls her. But I have to admit that her leadership has softened up a bit. So she's not as strong as she was with me. She has left me that spot while she's enjoying now playing with him. Now, can we move to the next slide? So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of insight into my mom's leadership. I wanted to have a look a bit at the statistics, and I put some figures out there from recent studies. Currently, women represent globally approximately 34% of or managerial roles around the world. While nowadays is a significant improvement over the years, it still highlights a gap that we need to address. For context, the percentage of women in managerial roles varies region by region, as you can see also on the screen, with some of the countries like Sweden leading at around 45%. This data underscores the importance of continued advocacy for women representation in leadership. And diversity in leadership is not just a box to check. It drives innovation, it fosters a more inclusive workplace. And the researchers show that companies with a more diverse leadership team are more likely to outperform their peers in terms of productivity and profitability. Women leaders bring unique perspectives that can help organizations navigate challenges more effectively. We have, if you want, a more attention to detail and a particular interest in perfection or insisting on high standards. In my team of almost 50 people, and part of them are blue collars as well, I have 9 managers, 9, from which 5 are women in leadership positions. I would say that that's a good diversity balance to have. I never had an issue because we know that all companies request for more diversity and to hire more women. Let's say that I was driving this and I never got a request from HR to increase my women pool. And I would say this with big pride. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. We play dual roles. We juggle multiple responsibilities. We balance demanding careers with family life. And this juggling act can be incredibly challenging, but it also enhances qualities like empathy, collaboration, traits that are essential for effective leadership. I'm sure you feel it within yourselves, the values that drive you forward and values that are driving me forward as woman in leadership. Innovative passion to push boundaries. As I told you, I was not happy with what I was told I have to do. Success in overcoming challenges, satisfaction in nurturing relationships, integrity in doing what we say that we will, even when no one is watching. However, of course, all these are not without struggles. Many women face societal expectations that can make it sometimes difficult to manage both roles. We must recognize these challenges and we must create support systems such as mentorship and networking opportunities, such as the event today, to help women drive in leadership. Look at the women around you, help them build their confidence, support them with being heard, with getting promoted. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. While we lead families at home and we are daughters, wives, moms, grandmothers, and we have to balance bills, weekends out, birthday events, a small or a big boo-boo. I was talking about a boo-boo. I was putting a bandage for my son because he said he had a boo-boo this morning. So we have to do that. A heartbreak, a football match, which even though he's just 3, he starts to have football matches with me or with his dad. We have to balance a morning coffee and these days even be emotional support and a safe blanket for our partners. Women in leadership positions have a crucial role also in shaping their teams and organizations. They engage in strategic planning and decision making. We ensure that the departments that we work in and we work with meet their goals effectively. We create a positive culture. A significant aspect of our leadership is fostering a culture and a positive work culture. Women leaders often emphasize inclusivity and collaboration, which can lead to greater employee satisfaction and productivity. Moreover, we have a keen eye for recognizing potential in others, and we create clear development roadmaps, and we help our team members grow and advance in their careers. And this not only boosts morals, but also strengthens the organizations as a whole. We are, as leaders, as women leaders, at the forefront of driving innovation. We encourage creative thinking, adaptability within our teams. We help organizations stay competitive in ever-changing markets. Furthermore, women leaders often prioritize the ethical practices and sustainability. We integrate these values into our company core strategies. It not only enhances the company's reputation, but it also aligns with the growing consumer demand for responsible business practices. My team of directs and my team of skip managers look up to me for guidance, for advice, for trust, or just a happy face. I can tell you that I never go upset or worried to work. It's also known as the shadow of the leader, if you want, at home as well as at work. Your little ones are looking up to you. The same for the teams that you work with. And I honestly want to tell you that I love being a woman and I love being a woman leader. I recently posted on LinkedIn, you can look it up if you wish, that if it is to look at my biggest achievement so far, this is my team. And this is the real recognition of my work. From, brainstorming meetings for the yearly roadmaps, to guiding on new projects, to discussing on people management issues, to personal messages just to ensure that they're okay. I dedicated half of my heart to my team, and I'm dedicating half of my heart to my family. And of course, my entire heart to my son and the little leader he's becoming. And my son, I see him walking with confidence, and I have to admit, I love those little moments where he asks for me and my guiding hand, which is something that your teens will still do no matter how senior they become and how confident in their work they will be. My son is at the age, as I was telling you, he's 3 years old, and he's at the age where we teach him right from wrong, where I'm put in a situation where, despite wanting to laugh out loud at the silly things he's doing, and I assure you, and I trust you can share the same with me, we have those little moments at work, not only at home. I have to keep a straight managerial face and instill leadership control, again, because he's looking up to me. I enjoy those moments, and I'm learning still on how to be a better mom leader and a better work leader. I see my son grow, and I see him become a little gentleman. And I have my neighbor friend, who I believe is now online in this event as well, who shared with me moments where my little son was visiting her, and when he left, he said, "Goodbye, madam." And you know, when she told me this, she made me so proud that respect is already embedded within him, to respect women, to appreciate them, to love. And here again, by love, I mean respect and appreciation for all the women and for everyone in general. And I will confess to you that since I was a little girl, I wanted to have a son. And I get so emotional about all these little moments that I even have tears in my eyes right now. And I believe it's allowed because we are in a safe environment. Okay, let's move on from this emotional little moment. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you so much. I wanted to share a bit of success stories with you, and you see them on the screen right now, some successful women. I want to take a moment to recognize them and how they have made an impact in their industries. Their journeys provide valuable lessons of resilience, determination, and the importance of nurturing future leaders. And I will take some examples. Indira Nooyi, she is the former CEO of PepsiCo. She led PepsiCo for 12 years, during which she transformed the company's portfolio. She focused on healthier products, and she's a mother of two daughters. And she often spoke about the challenges of balancing work and life while advocating for women in the workplace. Then we have Sheryl Sandberg, who was the former CEO of Facebook. She's known for her influential book called Lean in which she encourages women to pursue their ambitions. She is also a mother of two. And she used to say in her book, "I want every girl who's told she's bossy to be told instead that she has leadership skills." That's a very interesting way to put it. And she was also saying leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. We have Mary Barra, who is the CEO of General Motors. You see it in the blue image. She's the first woman who led a major global automaker, a mother of two as well, and she emphasizes the importance of diversity and inclusion in the workplace while managing the complexity of leadership in family life. We have Michelle Obama, who is the former First Lady of USA. She's a lawyer and advocate for education and healthy living, and she's also a mother of two. She has many initiatives such as Let's Move or Reach Higher, reflecting the commitment to empowering youth and families. And I would like to quote from her saying, "A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be." So sometimes we have to also put in place a more tough leadership, including with our children. We have Angela Merkel, who is the former Chancellor of Germany, maybe not a traditional mother figure, even though she is a mother, she has a grown daughter. She navigated her political career while maintaining a focus on family values. Then we have J.K. Rowling, that exemplifies a strong female leader through her journey and impact in so many ways. She was a struggling mother, and now she's a globally recognized author and philanthropist, a great leader. She made proof of resilience and perseverance. She overcame adversity. She faced numerous rejections before publishing Harry Potter, the book or the series that we all know, this global impact. She was extremely determined. She is empowering through storytelling. She's creating strong female characters in her books. She is addressing social issues through her narratives. She's addressing themes like prejudice, inequality, the importance of friendship and loyalty. Then we have Ursula von der Leyen, who is the president of European Commission. As a mother of 7, she has 7 children. She emphasized the importance of family in her life. She has been a strong advocate for gender equality and policies that support families across Europe. From all their experiences, we can gather strategies for success. Balancing assertiveness with empathy and maintaining work-life integration are crucial, and prioritizing self-care and setting boundaries, women can lead more efficiently while also taking care of themselves and their families. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. I would like to leave you with the examples of these women leaders, and there are so many others like them. I just picked a few. Think deep inside of your own example and give credit to yourself. You are absolutely amazing. And encourage more women to pursue leadership role. It's vital for the future of our organizations and the future of our societies. Female leaders not only drive successes, but also inspire the next generations to follow. We understand the importance of the work we do. We continue to stand by our values as we raise the little leaders at home and grow our future leaders at work. Tomorrow, we are celebrating the women who made it all possible for us to lead, to grow, and roll strong together. As well as we are celebrating you, all the women leaders, whether you are honoring yourself, your mom, your partner, your mentor, or any powerful woman that you know in your life. This day is for her, and it is for you. Happy Mother's Day to all of you, to all the amazing moms and women out there. You are appreciated.
Thank you so much, Miss Emilia Sentiu. What a wonderfully inspiring keynote. Your insights on leadership, impact, and transformative power of women in leadership have given us a lot to reflect on. Thank you again. Inequality isn't just a statistic. It has a very real emotional and mental impact on women everywhere. The barriers, biases, and pressures women face every day affect not only their careers, but also their well-being, resilience, and sense of justice. To explore this critical topic, we now turn to a panel discussion on the emotional cost of inequality, women's mental well-being, and justice. We are joined by distinguished leaders such as Ms. Shubha Rakesh, FIDE Arbiter, Toastmaker, and Director, Cognizance Academy for Chess and Vedic Math. We have Saleha Sheikh, Founder, President of Women in Maritime Association of India, and Founder and CEO of Dynamic Marine Solutions. We also have Ms. Reena CM, Assistant Professor from KHM Unity Women's College. Guiding this conversation is our moderator, Ms. Lama Atui, Assistant Program Director, HR and Soft Skills from Blue Ocean Corporation. Get ready for an engaging, insightful, and thought-provoking discussion that will uncover the real impact of inequality and explore pathways to mental well-being and justice for women.
Thank
Over
you
to
very
you, Ms.
much,
Lama.
Fidan. Thank you, Fidan. Good afternoon and happy Women's Day in advance to everyone here. It's always a privilege for me to be part of this inspiring platform. Thanks to Blue Ocean Corporation for this initiative. And I hope everyone is already enjoying and benefiting from the very inspiring conversations and keynotes. As Fidan said just a moment ago, inequality is often discussed in economic or political terms through statistics, policies, and representation. But psychology reminds us that its deepest impact is often far more personal and often invisible. It appears in the pressure many women feel to constantly prove themselves and in the resilience required to navigate spaces where opportunities are not always equal. Over time, these experiences shape confidence, influence ambition, and affect how women see their own potential and place in the world. So today we open an important conversation about the emotional cost of inequality and how these invisible pressures influence women's mental well-being and resilience across different stages of life and career. Research also in psychology shows that women tend to perform significantly more emotional labor, which is the invisible work of managing expectations, smoothing tensions, and maintaining harmony. So let us begin by exploring the invisible emotional labor women carry across professional and personal spaces. Starting with Miss Shuba. Hi, Miss Shuba.
Hi.
Ms. Shuba, in competitive spaces like chess, for example, do women feel extra emotional pressure to constantly prove themselves?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Lama, for this question. And I wish International Women's Day to each one of you. And let me, first of all, take this opportunity to thank Blue Ocean Management and team for once again inviting me to be here on this proud and prestigious platform, BOWLD 7. And regarding the question, as someone who has always been involved in my field in many roles as a parent, as an arbiter, as an organizer, and also as a mentor to young learners, I have seen professional spaces from many perspectives. And from that experience, I would say that yes, many women do feel an extra emotional pressure to prove themselves. And in many competitive environments, we can say that women are often fewer in number. And when that happens, there is sometimes always an unspoken expectation to perform perfectly and to be extra careful in every decision. And it may not be said openly, we all know, but we can feel that we are representing not just ourselves, but the women as a whole. And in my professional role as an arbiter, I often had to remain calm, fair, balanced, and while handling many challenging situations and making decisions. And this requires not only the technical knowledge, but a lot of emotional awareness, like managing tensions, maintaining harmony, and ensuring that everyone feels respected. And alongside, I also work as an organizer through my Cognizance Academy, where I try to create opportunities for more women and girls to participate. And in fact, I'm very happy to share that tomorrow we are hosting a very special event called Cognizance Queens, a tournament exclusively for women and girls, which is supported by World Chess Federation Commission for Women's Chess. And one of the most rewarding part of this initiative has been motivating many women, even mothers and grandmothers who have never played in any tournament before, to sit at the board and participate for the first time in their life. And this was not an easy task, but it shows how powerful the encouragement or opportunity we provide it can be. And when I sometimes enter into my tournament area or my professional space and I feel I am the only woman, I just pause for a moment and reflect. And I tell myself that this is not a pressure, but we have to see it as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to show that women, we all belong in every professional space as participants in some other roles, and we are inspiring the next generation. And I'm concluding with a line that when every time one woman confidently takes her place in a professional space, she quietly opens the door for many more to walk in. And thank
Thank
you
you
all.
very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Shuba. Actually, we will be discussing several topics related to the psychological impact of how women are treated at workplace and how to cope with these emotions along this conversation. Moving to Ms. Rina. Ms. Rina, from your expertise, do young girls feel pressure to behave perfectly or manage others' emotions more than boys?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Lama. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, from my perspective, as someone who constantly engages with the undergraduate and postgraduate students, particularly a girls only campus, I would say many young women do seem to experience a noticeable pressure to behave properly, to be attentive to the emotions of others. What is important to note is this: the pressure is rarely biological. Rather, it develops through social expectations and
Expectations. I
early
wanted to ask you, is it expected now for girls to be or to behave more emotionally, especially when managing others' emotions? Is it an
yes,
expectation now?
yes, it is still an expectation because this is imbibed by the institutionalization, by
Mm.
early patterns of socialization. So it is not a deliberate attempt to become a one, but the instinct which is actually imbibed into us is acting. So, in many cultures, actually, girls grow up hearing subtle messages about being a good girl, being polite, calm, helpful, and emotionally considerate. Where boys, on the other hand, are often given more freedom to be assertive, outspoken, or even disruptive. And this is taken for granted, boys are boys. Still, boys are boys.
Yeah.
They can do
Okay.
whatever they wish. They can be destructive as well. Over time, girls may internalize this
Mm.
idea that they should avoid conflict and maintain harmony and behave correctly in every situation. And this often produces what we might call perfection pressure. You have to be always perfect in every
Mhm.
occasion, and that perfection actually has that emotional labor which comes within. You have to like suppress, you have to be under that glass ceiling, because you are born a woman, where mistakes and emotional outbursts feel socially unacceptable. Now, another aspect I feel frequently, I notice in my classroom, is the emotional responsibility, which is displayed by certain girls. Many female students are highly attentive to the feelings of their peers. In group discussions, for example, some students hesitate to disagree openly. Hesitate to disagree openly. This is,
Mhm.
I'm reinforcing that term. They hesitate to disagree openly because they worry about hurting someone else's feelings. So, when conflicts arise during collaborative work, it is often girls themselves who step into the role of mediators, trying to maintain harmony within the group. And while this demonstrates strong empathy and emotional intelligence, this is a very good quality for a woman. Because of her constant growing up with these terms and terminologies, she demonstrates strong empathy and emotional intelligence. But it can also reveal an underlying expectation that they should manage emotional climate of the group. Now, interestingly, these dynamics are not new. We can see them reflected in literature across different historical periods. And the media and the popular culture
Mm.
can be seen focusing on representing adults, repeatedly encourage her to behave like a proper girl. When she reacts impulsively or speaks passionately, she is corrected, often corrected. And over time, she learns to regulate her emotions in
Mm.
order to meet social expectations. So, this is not something that has been grabbed from the air, but even the psychological studies, research supports these observations as well. Now, scholars such as Liza Damore, Rachel Simmons, particularly in Simmons' book, Odd Girl Out. This is the title of a book, have shown that girls often receive strong cultural messages that they must be kind, academically successful, and cooperative and conflict averse. This combination of expectations can produce what researchers sometimes call the good girl syndrome. The good girl syndrome. I repeat, the good girl syndrome.
Yeah.
And where perfectionism and people pleasing tendencies become intertwined. No, so from drawing from both my experience and academic research, since I'm coming from a girls only setting, I would say that many young women do grow up feeling responsible not only for their own behavior, but also for the emotional atmosphere around them. And at the same time, this socialization often nurtures valuable qualities such as empathy and cooperation and emotional awareness. The key challenge, especially as a facilitator, for me, is to create an environment where these trends can flourish without students feeling that they must silence their own opinions,
Mhm.
anger, and individuality in order to keep everyone else comfortable. So,
Thank you
the,
very much. That was very inspiring, actually, because also when you think of it, if these concepts are embedded in young girls from a very young age, they will carry them throughout their professional life as well, and as mothers and everything. They are always expected to act with empathy. They are always expected to avoid conflict, to take care of others' emotions as well. So we carry it, and it becomes challenging to, I mean, even more challenging to change them when you grow up because they are already embedded in you.
yes,
So thank
definitely.
you very much. Okay, moving to Miss Saliha. Miss Saliha, now in male-dominated industries like maritime, for instance, do women feel they must control their emotions just to be accepted?
Good day, all, and wishing everyone a very happy Women's Day in advance. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. So, I come from a maritime background, and here, what happens is because it's a predominantly male dominated industry, and the number of women working is fairly low. In fact, it's just between 1 to 2% worldwide, which is a very low number. So, many a times the expectations are very different, and especially for women working on board, they when they go on board, they feel that okay, we got to prove ourselves, in order to fit in. That may not be the case with everybody, but yes, a lot of people do feel that pressure because you're a minority on board. You may be one or maybe two women in a crew of 25 to 30 people. So many a times it's like, okay, how do I fit in? And the thing is, what happens is, if a woman is behaving, trying to, if she is in any way showing her emotions, she can be labeled as emotional. And at the same time, if she is trying to be, speaking firmly or, standing up for herself, she may be perceived as aggressive as well.
Mhm.
you know this is generally the case, but as a women empowerment coach, I always tell them that you it's very important that you be confident in yourself, be your authentic self. If you're trying to fit in, you will not be your authentic self, and you will obviously put out some other emotion which is not required. And what is also important here is the leadership culture, the management, how they handle these kind of incidents, or what is the kind of culture that they are creating on board, especially on board ships. Because many times the contract that the seafarers go through is like 6 to 7 months at sea. So this seafarer, the lady seafarer, is amongst a crew for 6 to 7 months. So you are obviously trying to put up a picture. At the same time, you want to maintain your identity. You don't want to be perceived as somebody who is very easy, because that could also invite any kind of harassment or abuse. So there's such a thin line out there that you need to focus on. But at the same time, I would say that if you are
confident in yourself and you have done your inner work, which is extremely important, where your limiting beliefs are not there and you know that this is how I am. And if something happens, this is how I stand up for myself. And the communication channels are very clear, and you know what to do, how to go about it. And the leadership out there is also has maintained a culture where communication is important and you're able to speak for yourself, you're able to put across your thoughts. That ecosystem that develops there is very, very important, and that can really help for a woman to work confidently and to the optimum in an industry like maritime. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Saliha. I can totally agree with you, especially that we would be struggling two different personality of our, the one expected personality and one real personality of ours. So which one do I choose? Just be yourself. I totally agree. Thank you very much. So now let's look at the psychological impact of microaggressions and the subtle workplace exclusion. Actually, psychologists have found that microaggressions may appear small when in isolation, but their cumulative effect can significantly impact confidence and the sense of belonging. And over time, these subtle signals can influence how individuals perceive their own value and potential. So my question is to you, Ms. Shuba, have you seen women being subtly underestimated, and what does that do to their confidence over time?
Yes, it does happen, and often sometimes I feel it is in a small and subtle ways. It can be can be as simple as a woman explaining something or making a decision, and people still turning to a male colleague
Yes,
to confirm the same thing. We might all have experienced such moments
of
once
course.
in a while, and these moments may seem small, but many times we just smile and move on. But when such experiences happen repeatedly, they can slowly affect the confidence, especially for young women who are just entering the professional
Mm.
spaces. At the same time, I might also say that in my journey, from my personal experience, I have met many supportive male counterparts, maybe you also, who have offered guidance, mentorship, and encouragement. And their support have played a very important role in helping many of us stronger in our fields. And of course, in in any profession, there may be some exceptions overall, but the positive mentorship and collaboration
Of
makes
course,
a big difference.
of
And I
course,
have learned that in many such situations, we had to be confident, keep learning, and be consistent in our work. Because the respect gradually comes when people see our knowledge and professionalism and commitment. And I always try to create such environments where young girls and women they feel confident to come and join, speak up, and
Mm.
take leadership roles. And we have many times around us, we have seen many such women who learn to turn such moments of underestimation into motivation to keep growing and let their work speak for itself. We have both negative and positive. The angle, the way we see all these situations matters. Right? We can turn it into a very positive way and lead our life more powerfully and beautifully. Over to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Shuba. Actually, I want to comment on something that you mentioned regarding men. So sometimes men do support women, and actually we also see some subtle microaggressions coming from women, from senior women in at work, for example, discouraging or microaggressing again younger women, younger men as well. So it's not only about gender; it may be related to experience, to age, and so on. So microaggression, we can say in general, it can affect our confidence, yet it may affect women more because they can be maybe, experiencing more microaggression due to culture and due to thinking that women don't fit in, let's say, higher positions or in leadership places because they are emotional, etc., etc. So thank you for that. Miss Rina, actually, we're talking here about the small comments, okay, that people may receive. So, how do these small discouraging comments affect a girl's or a woman's self-belief as she grows?
Yes, thank you, Lama. When we discuss women's confidence, we often focus on big obstacles like inequality, lack of opportunities, or systemic injustices or barriers. But sometimes the most powerful forces shaping a girl's self belief are not loud and dramatic.
Mm.
They are quiet, they are subtle, everyday comments that slowly accumulate and build up over time. I hope you people accept with this. Because a girl might hear things like, don't be too loud. Uh, don't sit like this.
Yeah.
No, don't go over there because it is crowded. And maybe let the boys handle this. Or are you sure you can do that?
Yeah.
So all these comments actually build up inside a girl on becoming a woman. There is a transition, and the transition is holding this woman to become a complete woman. And each comment, it, as I said, it seems small, almost harmless, but over the years these words settle somewhere deep inside and they begin to form an inner voice that asks, am I capable enough?
Mm.
Am I good enough? And often that doubt appears before the girl even gets a chance to try. And I remember something from my own growing years that there was a moment when I was excited to take part in something that required speaking up and taking initiative, which I always do otherwise. But someone casually said, maybe this is not really your call. Maybe this is not really for you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't said with cruelty or with some agenda on their mind, but it was an almost an offhand comment remark. But I remember how quickly that single sentence made me hesitate and question myself. That is the power of discouraging comments.
Hmm.
And they don't always break confidence instantly, but
When
they
cumulated,
slowly,
when added all together, of course, they
yeah,
will lead
they
to
slowly
like
chip in inside
exactly.
and they make that impact. And over time, these small doubts influence real decisions. Whether a girl raises her hand in class, that's a small thing, raise your hand. They won't raise. They'll be skeptical about it. Whether she volunteers the lead, whether she believes her ideas deserve to be heard, all these questions raises up in her mind. But the hopeful part is this, that words can also build confidence
Of
just
course.
as powerfully. So, a teacher who says, example, myself, who says, your voice matters, and a parent who says, try it even you fail, and a colleague who supports, you should go for it. Now, those words can stay with the girl just as long, sometimes for a lifelong. So perhaps what we need to remember is that self belief is not only something girls must find within themselves, it is something that the world around them either nurtures or quietly undermines. And sometimes the difference between doubt and confidence is simply the words we choose to say them. So this is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rina. I'm going to ask Ms. Saliha now, based on your experience again, can you give us some examples of subtle bias or exclusions that women face at work and that people often ignore?
Yeah. So that's a very interesting question there, and taking forward from a point that you made, earlier about how sometimes you can women can face bias not just from men but also from senior management women, and that's very interesting because it has been observed that sometimes senior management women will not let the younger women speak.
Mm-hmm.
In a meeting, they will not give that voice to them, or even if the woman is speaking, she is totally ignored and the men in the room are given a chance, or iterated on their points. So this is a form of bias that women also face at work. And coming back to maritime, I would say that many a times when it comes to capability or commitment, women do face assumptions that they're not able to do things. for example, on working on board ships, there may be tasks that are physically hard, but not impossible, and sometimes some women do face this kind of a bias where their colleagues at work will say, oh, that's really tough, let me handle that, you won't be able to do it, let me handle it. So these are very subtle examples of where the woman may feel that, okay, you did not even let me try, I mean, I never said that I need help here, let me do it, and in case I feel that I'm unable to do it alone or I need some help, then I can reach out to that. So these are definitely capability and examples of capability in maritime, And of course, we all go through those phases where decision making also sometimes can be, we can face bias when it comes to decision making. Whereas if top management is a male and may give some kind of a decision like, okay, we need to do this, or this is a certain deadline, and we need to accomplish this by so and so time, it may be taken very seriously. But the same thing, that if a woman is giving the same deadline, it may be misconstrued as she's coming on too aggressive, or she's too demanding, or too difficult. So unfortunately, there are these kind of biases that do exist.
Thank you very much. Now let's move to a more forward-looking perspective. We're talking here about mentorship, solidarity, and community. So psychological research consistently shows that people rarely navigate challenges in isolation. So the presence of supportive networks can significantly shape how individuals respond to difficult experiences. So what's the role of mentorship, solidarity, and community that plays in helping women navigate inequality and continue to grow? So Ms. Shuba, coming back to you again, how important is mentorship specifically in helping women stay emotionally strong?
Mentorship is extremely important everywhere, but especially in fields where women are still fewer in number. I feel so. When young women see other women taking leadership roles, making decisions, and contributing confidently in professional spaces, it changes how they see their own possibilities, how they can be there, how can they can grow, and it tells them that these spaces are also meant for them. But mentorship need not be always formal. It can be informal also,
Of course.
informal too sometimes, because sometimes even a small encouragement, a word, a gesture, someone sharing their experience or offering guidance or simply saying you are doing well can make a lot of difference in one's confidence, right? I have many such experience, and each one of us will have some words or some phrases which might have ignited a spark, raising our confidence in various times. And in my own work through my academy, I have seen how powerful community can be when the people come together, learn, support, and encourage. It builds confidence and emotional strength, and indirectly, it is a form of mentorship. It will not be direct, it can be indirectly when we are together. And supporting networks, we can see that they create some kind of emotional safety net, and they remind women that challenges are normal as a part of our journey. But we need not have to face alone. There are a supportive system with us, maybe mentors in many other different, maybe it cannot, it need not be men.
Actually, it reminds people that it's okay not to be okay all the time.
Yes, but there are people, not gender-wise, but maybe in both gender, there are people who can support. And when people support each other, men and women together, it creates healthier and stronger professional environment where everyone can grow and contribute with confidence. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Now I'll move to Ms. Rina again, and I'm going to ask you about the role of communities in rebuilding confidence, especially after unfair experiences.
Yes, Lama, thank you so much. Let me begin with a thought that might sound simple, but carries enormous weight. Confidence. Confidence rarely grows in isolation, and neither does healing.
Of course.
So, community has to intersect. When a woman experiences unfair treatment, whether it is discrimination, dismissal, or being constantly underestimated, the damage is not only external, it begins to affect how she is herself. Doubt creeps in quietly. Confidence that once felt natural can suddenly feel fragile. And in those moments, the question becomes who helps rebuild that confidence? Now, this is where community is powerful. Community is not just a group of people, it is a network of voices that reminds a woman who she is when the world has tried to convince her otherwise. It might be a supportive friend who says, what happened to you, it was unfair. It might be a mentor who encourages her to try again. It might be even at a workplace, classroom, or a social group that creates a space where she feels seen and respected. Those moments matter more than we often realize because unfair experiences often isolate women.
Mm.
Since women who are victims are often made feel as culprits.
Yes.
And yes, in certain cases where they are sabotaged by men, they feel culprits. They are made feel culprits. So they make them feel as though the problem lies within themselves. And many women begin to wonder, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I was wrong somewhere, maybe I had to look
Mm.
into it before I had took a step for towards it. Maybe I'm not capable enough. So these are the doubts that comes inside a woman's mind. But a supportive community interrupts that narrative. When
Yeah.
other women share similar experiences, something inside that particular woman shifts. Now, the silence breaks. What once felt like personal failure or a personal trauma becomes visible as a shared structural problem. Shared structural problem. And that
Mhm,
realization
mhm. So
alone
you're
can
not
be
there alone. This is happening, and we are here to support you, overcome
yes,
it,
this is
and
not your problem, this is
you're
a
not the
shared
only you're not the
structural
accused,
problem.
you're not the culprit. Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Great. Thank you
realization
very much
alone,
again. Yes,
yeah, that realization alone can, be incredibly empowering. And community also provides
of course.
something equally important, that is validation. Sometimes the first step toward rebuilding
Mm,
confidence is simply hearing someone say, your experience is real and your feelings are valid.
definitely.
And yes,
Definitely. The
and perhaps it's
validation.
the most important role a community can play. And not just helping women recover from unfairness, but helping them rise stronger than before. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Miss Rina. And finally, Miss Saliha, let's be practical a little bit. What can organizations do to create real support systems instead of leaving women to cope alone?
Really interesting to hear Miss Reena and Miss Suba, the kind of comments that they give, and when it comes to community and personal, but when it comes to organizations, I think it is very important that organizations understand the reality of these kind of problems and offer some kind of support. And I think I would say the first most important structural support that organizations can give is having mentorship and sponsorship programs, which are which would really help to develop the leadership pipelines. Also, having leadership programs, conflict building courses, which are built into the system, that would help them in dealing with day-to-day issues and also develop their confidence and help them to grow as leaders. When it comes to mentorship, I would say a form of mentorship is the allyship that we hear about, wherein you have a buddy system or an ally. Because sometimes you may not be very comfortable opening up in front of more people, but a one-to-one mentor or a one-to-one ally would be a great support to be able to speak up and share your problems and also to learn. And having a senior mentor would really help you in order to validate your problems, your feelings, for the woman to know that, all right, I'm not the only one who's faced this, and the other person has also been through something similar, and this is how they navigated their issues, and I can take lessons from that. Having that kind of an exchange of information, that kind of support system would go a long way in building confidence, in shaping up your personality for the organization. So I think a proper support system is extremely important, and most organizations should really look at supporting women in this way.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Saliha, and my sincere thanks to all our remarkable panelists for their very thoughtful insights. If there's one thing psychology teaches us, it's that experiences shape identity and environments shape those experiences. So the real question for all of us is not only how women adapt to inequality, but how systems, institutions, and cultures must evolve so that future generations of women no longer have to carry its emotional cost. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, everyone. Thank you very much, and happy Women's Day again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big
Lama, thank you.
thanks. Thank you, everybody. Ms. Lama, Ms. Shubha Rakesh, Ms. Saliha Sheikh, and Ms. Reena for sharing their valuable insights. Your perspectives on women's mental well-being, inequality, and justice have given us much to reflect on and actionable ideas to take back to our workplaces and communities. We truly appreciate your time, expertise, and the meaningful conversation you've sparked today. My sincere thank you. As we approach the conclusion of this remarkable gathering, it's time to recognize the efforts of everyone who made BOWLD 7 possible. There is no one more suited to deliver the vote of thanks than the person who has been at the heart of planning and bringing this event to life. Please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Nova Norbert, Head of Events and Conferences, Blue Ocean Corporation.
Good afternoon, lovely ladies. Once again, a very happy International Women's Day to you all. As Maya Angelou said, each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women. Today, we move that conversation forward. To our remarkable speakers, thoughtful leaders, and every woman who is a part of this conversation today, thank you. If today proved one thing, it is this. When women gather, the conversation does not stay in the room. It becomes a movement. From the opening moments to the final reflections, the energy across this virtual space has been powerful, thoughtful, and deeply human. My sincere thanks to our keynote speaker, moderators, and panelists for their insight, honesty, and courage in addressing conversations that truly matter. As many of you know, BOWLD is a unique part of Blue Ocean Conferences, entirely designed and led by women for women. At the same time, we acknowledge the invaluable role that men play in championing this mission. Their leadership and support are instrumental in advancing the cause of women's empowerment. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Satya Menon, Chairman and Managing Director of Blue Ocean Corporation, and Mr. Abdul Aziz, Vice Chairman of Blue Ocean Corporation, whose unwavering belief in this vision has made this event possible. To the women who joined us today, you're not just attendees, you are architects of change. Thank you for being part of this conversation and for continuing to move it forward. Let this not be the end of a conference, but the continuation of a movement. On behalf of BOWLD and the entire Blue Ocean family, thank you for your time, trust, and belief in building a more equitable tomorrow. And finally, A special thank you to the entire Blue Ocean team members working behind the scenes, whose dedication and teamwork make this event possible. Let us keep building together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Noba Norbert, for those heartfelt words and for bringing today's event to a meaningful close. As we wrap up BOWLD 7, let's take the inspiration, insights, and connections from today and carry them forward into our work, communities, and lives. It's not just March 8th. Every day is an opportunity to celebrate, support, and empower women shaping our world. On behalf of Blue Ocean Corporation, we thank each of you for your energy, participation, and commitment. Finally, I would like to request everyone to kindly share your feedback. You will receive an email shortly with the feedback form. Once you complete the feedback, your certificate of attendance will be sent to you in a follow-up email. We look forward to welcoming you to the next edition of BOWLD as we continue to celebrate and advance women in leadership together. Thank you all for being here. Wish you all a wonderful and inspiring day ahead. Take care, stay safe. God bless.
Thank you, Noba. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.